Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the fourth episode of OnAir with Alumni. On this episode, we have with us Dhairya Sandhyana. Dhairya graduated from IIT Delhi in 2018 in computer science, and she's currently working at Samsung in Seoul, South Korea. So she's joining us all the way from South Korea, and she also had an All India rank of 29 in her JEE Advance. And not only that, she also has an Instagram following of 46,000 people. So we are really delighted to have you with us, Dhairya, and welcome to Honor with Alumni.
Hi.
So let's just start with this. So to start, let's talk about your life prior to IIT and like how was your preparation day? How were your preparation days?
So I think my preparation days, my JEE days were actually quite relaxed. Like I never took the stress too much. I never thought that I have to give up everything else in my life to prepare because that's basically my mantra in life. That's what I've been following all my life. That if you're too stressed doing anything, then it's not worth it. Maybe it's like you need to change. So I always like if I like talking to my friends, so I'll never gave up my phone or anything, and I loved watching movies and TV shows. So I used to watch that and just and it's all about the balance and setting your priorities straight. As long as you're doing that, then I think you can pursue your hobbies and all simultaneously. And also I think I need to mention that a major reason why it was relaxed was because I was doing a year ahead. So like I joined Fiji in 8th standard for NTSC preparation, and I never stopped going to Fiji after that because I don't know, it just felt like it would help me maintain a routine. So I uh, just when I went back to Fiji in ninth standard, me and my teachers, we all felt that it's sort of repetitive because I had studied a lot of it already. So we like they recommended that I should study with 10th class students in when I was in ninth. So that's what I did, and just like that, I was doing a year ahead. So in 10th, I was doing 11th, and in 11th, I was doing 12th. So I had a whole year for the revision, so it was never stressful for me. I was just enjoying the whole time, the whole curriculum, whatever it was. It was not. It was never like, oh my god, the exam is so close. I need to study it, and I have to worry about the results. It was never like that. So I think that was very helpful. Maybe if I had studied for even longer, there is a chance that I could have got a better rank, but I don't think I would have been happier. So I think I'm happy with what I got. More than happy, actually.
I think you definitely did very well, and it's really unique that you didn't stop socializing because, like, a lot of people say that they just give up their phones for 2 years and a lot of that. So, moving on, let's talk about your life at IIT. So, what do you miss the most?
Ah, hmm. Friends, like I definitely miss just hanging out anywhere in the campus with my friends, let it be hostel room or even our CS labs because I spend a lot of time there, and even just the walks around the campus. I miss that so much. And I miss the food. Like I haven't been to Delhi in a long time, so I'm kind of biased, but I miss the food, Delhi food so much, and especially like even the unhygienic food that we used to have at night mess. Even that I miss at times, and I would do anything to have that. And even the cute cafes and restaurants around IIT, like SDA market. I even when I go back to Delhi now, I make sure that I go to SDA, try at least because it's just so close to my heart. All the restaurants, they're one of my favorites in the whole city.
Yeah, I definitely relate because we all have been far from the institute for very long as well. So, yeah, relate on that. Now, I'd like to ask, how did IIT Delhi shape you as an individual? Was there any before and after?
Definitely, actually. So when you go to IIT, you meet a lot of really smart people, and not just people with brilliant minds, and but also like very talented people who have been just like me, balancing different aspects of their lives, and they have been doing it so well, right? They have been successful in actually balancing different things and managing different parts of their lives. So I learned a lot from them, and it's just when you're hanging out with really smart people, it kind of makes you smarter, if that makes sense to you. But like when you're discussing, just even if you're discussing movies or politicians, or not just like, it doesn't have to be nerdy, but it's just very smart conversation. So feel like they kind of ruined me for the rest of the world. But yeah, it's definitely, they've helped me sharpen my mind even more. Yeah.
Any, any courses, any professors that you miss, or what were your favorite courses?
I think a few of my favorite courses are from theoretical CS, but that is actually quite rare, because usually CS people go for the fancy fields like maybe ML or something, right? They almost never prefer theoretical CS courses, but I don't know, it could be the profs that I got, or I don't know if I liked the profs because I liked the course, or it was the other way around, but I definitely enjoyed those courses, and those are my favorite profs, like especially Naveen Garg. I really enjoyed his classes. I never really attended all the classes for any course, but his classes I used to go and I used to listen, and it was actually, I still remember the things, I think. And
Oh.
apart from that, some humanities courses as well. I think I took fundamentals of language science, and that was somewhere the start of why I went into language processing and all that in CS as well. So yeah, some of the courses I actually really enjoyed humanities as well.
So there's also this mindset that IIT Delhi, not IIT Delhi, but all IITs follow a very rigorous system, like a lot of assignments, a lot of quizzes. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it was a lot, especially a semester is what, 4 months, right? And you have classes back to back, and then without any gap, you have exams, and even those exams, like you have a lot of times you have two exams on one day. So yeah, it is a lot, and you have these surprise quizzes, so you have to be prepared all the time, and assignments especially. I think from what I heard, CS was one of the most hectic departments. I mean, we had so many assignments all the time, we had so many sleepless nights as well, but I think looking back at it, it was all worth it. I mean, it does prepare you for the real world. Not, it was not the bad kind of stress, like it is a lot, it is really hectic, but you are enjoying it. I mean, at least for me, I never did those assignments, or I never really cared about those tests which I did not enjoy, the courses I did not like. I was like, okay, whatever, I do not have to prepare so much for those courses. So yeah, you're enjoying the whole courses, and you're enjoying the, like, you're all preparing together, right? You are preparing for the test, and you're doing the assignments together with your friends, so of course it's fun. Even if you're not getting any sleep, it was still fun. And yeah, the way we could manage our time to manage all the courses, all the tests for different courses, actually prepares you for the real world. You are better equipped to handle a lot of work at the same time, I think, like as compared to other colleges. So if you're like, if you're worried about that right now, just believe that it will all be worth it.
So, what do you have to say about college life versus IIT life? Because you were a day scholar, so you went back and you had the college life, but then you also joined the hostel, right?
Yeah,
So, you
so
also had IIT life.
I was actually I would call myself a hostler, because I was only a day scholar for the first semester, and maybe you can call me sort of a day scholar for second semester. So basically, I used to go home every day in the first semester because, yeah, it was possible for me to go home, and I was kind of spoiled that I did not want to stay in hostel. I preferred staying home and have home cooked meals and all that. So yeah, I used to go home every day, but with time, I started going home less and less. Like in second semester, I would go home once on weekends and once within a week, and then from third semester onwards, it was just once a week, like just on weekends. And I think in the last year, I did not even go home every weekend because I was enjoying the hostel life so much. And yeah, I mean, the major reason I think I started staying back was because of assignments, because they are in teams and it's harder to do it like from different places. You need to sit at one place and do them together. So that's why I started staying back. But I actually enjoyed it because, I mean, you can relate. Hostel life is so much more fun than going home every day. And I was just so tired after going home that I decided that it was better. So in the first semester, I uh, was like, IIT was just classes and all for me. And maybe, of course, I used to hang out with my friends all day, but it's not the same when you're going home, because the real fun is actually at nights when you're, even if you're studying, but it's just more fun when you're having maybe Maggie at Nescafe, or even at hostel, if you're just like going to night mess for a bit. Of course, I miss food. See, I wasn't lying. I miss food. So yeah, anyway, I mean, it's just, I look back at it and I never remember the day part. It's mostly the nights that I look back at, because it's when you're not really worried about going to classes or just anything. You're doing it for fun. You're staying up because you're enjoying it. And of course, you have to too, but still, it's just more fun. And I did like being a hostler. Not that I was staying inside the hostel too much, because like my uh, assignment partners were mostly guys and they could not come to the hostel, right? So I spent a lot of time at inside the CS labs. But yeah, even when I was at the hostel inside my room, or I just like when I was in the campus, so I really liked it. And yeah, I think IIT life is, the classes and the courses are a very small part of IIT life. So this campus life, this campus fun is actually, I think I would say, even more than 50% of the IIT life. I did enjoy though both parts though, but if I have to advise someone on how to really enjoy the IIT life, just don't stay inside the hostel. Of course, it's fun when you're just hanging out with friends, but don't do that, especially because IIT Delhi is at such a prime location. Like, you have these restaurants and these malls, markets, everything's so close. Like, the best malls and markets of Delhi are so close to IIT that you really need to explore the whole city. And even though I had lived in Delhi all my life, I explored so much and I enjoyed Delhi so much during my college years. So because you have the liberty to do whatever you want at that time, right? So yeah, I think I would just advise that even though you need to enjoy your campus life, you need to enjoy the campus as much as you can, because you will miss it no matter what. But yeah, do have the college life as well. Just go out, meet more people, new people, and just enjoy the liberty that you have right now, because you don't have any responsibilities, just the whole freedom.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we are waiting to go back to the campus and enjoy. So, yeah, we've talked a lot about your life at IIT. So, do you think that the IIT tag matters? Being out from the college, having graduated?
Yeah, definitely. Like, IIT has this world recognition. I mean, people recognize IITs even here in Korea. Whenever they hear that I'm from IIT or just someone is from IIT, they just assume that that person would be really smart, and that sort of gives you a benefit. Of course, like that puts some pressure on you, but well, we are good, so you don't have to worry too much. But yeah, uh, if I'm not saying that students from other colleges don't do as well as us, or uh, they might even do better, right? They might even land better jobs than some of us. But I'm just saying that it is slightly easier if you are from IIT, because people, so see, as I said before, IIT does prepare you better for the real world, and that's like the world knows that. So that is why I think they assume that if you're from IIT, you must be good and we should hire you over someone who has almost the same experience as you, but is not from an IIT. Then they will just assume that maybe, since you're from a better college, and not to say that it is a better college, but that's what the image is in front of the world. And even like if you're applying for masters or something, then it definitely looks better on your resume, because people know the college. Other colleges, even if they are like better departments or better uh, just good colleges, even then people know IIT, so it does matter. And if someone is like thinking about it during counseling, comparing different colleges, then this is definitely a major point to consider.
Okay, so extracurriculars and PORs are also a part of this IIT life, but you were not so active in extracurriculars and you didn't have any PORs. So, do you have any perception about that, or could you share?
uh, so see, I think when we joined IIT, especially in the first semester, when you're really like, you don't know what to do, so you're participating in different clubs and just exploring different areas with your seniors in your hostel. So a lot of my friends in my hostel were doing that, and as I was going home every day, I did not participate. But also I just felt that they were all doing it because sab karte hain, karna chahiye, it's what you're supposed to do. That's what I felt, that's how I felt. And even later for PORs and stuff, it's just, it always, for me, it felt like people are doing it because it would look good on resume, or maybe they need to gain this experience in their college life. And I'm not saying it's wrong, or that everyone does it for this reason, but that's how I felt, that's how I saw it, because I did not want to do it. So if I had done it, it would feel like that for me, that I'm just doing it because sab kar rahe hain, and I would need a point for my resume. So I never uh, thought of doing that. And honestly, when I look back at it, I do not have any regrets that I didn't do it, because it just gave me more time to myself to enjoy other things on my own time. Because PORs and these activities do take up a lot of your time, right? So yeah, it's just like not for me. I haven't ever been one of those people who are really into maybe say sports or something. I have been into crafts, but I just pursued them like myself on by myself on my own time. I would do whatever I wanted to, not because club ka part hai, karna hi hai. Then it would not feel like a hobby. So again, like for other fields, it may matter, like other departments or other areas, but for a technical job like mine, I knew that it would not matter, so that's why I didn't do it. Yeah, like why karna hai, resume pe acha lagega, it is true. And if you are one of those people who is going for such a job, then you should do it. But since it did not matter for me, then so I didn't do it.
Okay, so what about your gender ratio when you were here? How was it?
uh,
Was it like majorly screwed?
really skewed, yes. Screwed. Well, yeah, that too. um yeah, so I think even like in my batch, it was girls were around 10% of the total um students. And in CS there were 7 girls in total, like combining BTech and dual degree students out of say I think 100 or something. So that is bad. um but honestly, like it did not affect me as such, the ratio. um I did not hang out with guys as much before that, but it wasn't like really different in the sense, because it's not like when girls are hanging out, it's not like we're just talking about clothes or something, right? We're just talking about random things, and we talk to guys also about those same random things. So it did not really matter to me. And now there is no girl even here, any Indian girl in Seoul, in Samsung, at least not an IIT, I think, as far as I know. So the whole community that we have even here is just guys, and it's as I said, it hasn't really affected me as such, but of course definitely it's upsetting that there are so few girls in my field. Mhm.
So yeah, even in like not only institutes but also in the companies, is that seen a lot, like the gender
Yeah,
ratio?
so- yeah, like as I said, there is no Indian girl here, right, in Seoul. Even Koreans, I would not say that it's 50%, could be higher than 10%, like we had in my batch in at IIT. But yeah, it's still, the percentage of girls here is still very low. It should be 50%, if not higher. Uh, and actually, yeah, it does affect you when you are working in a company. So personally, I feel like, especially, see, this is something I have seen personally, that my boss or some my manager, someone like that, so they're all male. I mean, naturally the probability of my senior would of being a male would be higher, right, since there are not enough girls. So but they feel more comfortable with the guys, so the same colleagues that work with me, they're just like, with me they would only talk about work and nothing else. Okay, Dhairya, how about this project? And okay, that's it, this is the end of the conversation. But with guys, they would talk about everything, how are your music lessons going, or let's meet, let's go to this concert together, or just let's go out for a coffee or whatever, and I think there could be multiple reasons for why the why that's the case. But um I think it could be that they're not as comfortable talking to me as they are with them. But I think the reason which makes more sense is the explanation which makes more sense is that there is a very fine line between being friendly and between harassment. Like, they might be trying to be friendly, but someone might take it as harassment, someone trying to flirt. And the same is true uh, if I try, it's not like, if I try to talk to them, they might perceive it as something like I'm trying to be too friendly. So it's a very fine line when there are opposite genders involved, and that is why you have to maintain your distance and keep it just strictly professional. And it might affect me, I don't know. I mean, I am being professional, I am doing well at work, but I don't know if I might not have enough friends, or maybe at, like, when people are being considered for promotions, there is a chance that they might prefer their friends or think that they are more outgoing than me, even though that is not the case, that might not be the case. But yeah, it might affect me. And apart from that, I think girls need to prove more that they deserve to be there, you know like, I have heard these, again, so like, everything I'm sharing is from personal experience, and I do not have a lot of experience and still have experienced these things so far. So I have heard such comments that I only got this job because I'm a girl and they wanted to maintain the ratio and stuff, or if I got some other internship, that was just because I'm a girl, or maybe a pretty girl, just things like that. I mean, you have to prove that if a guy had got it, oh, he is smart. But if I got it, no, she's just a girl, like they wanted a pretty girl at their office or just stuff like that. So we have to work harder to prove ourselves that no, we are smart, we deserve to be where we are. um and also, like, in for promotions and all, I think as you go higher, um you I think women are preferred less and less for promotions, because they have to take care of their family. They will not be able to concentrate that well at work. And there's a clear solution right there, right? That the men need to take care of the household just as much, and that is when uh, people like women and men can equally concentrate at work and give equal attention to work. If it's only women's responsibility to take care of the family, to take care of the whole household, then of course we can't concentrate. Or if we don't take care of the house, then we are just uh, I don't know how to put it nicely, but yeah, we are
Yeah,
not considered
yeah,
good.
this is very
Yeah,
insightful because we definitely need to bring in more women, but at the same time, the men also need to like empathize or have a change in the
yeah.
ideas, current
I
ideas.
think that it was not the case for our parents' generation, because they were not all our moms are working, but uh, for our generation, all the women are working. At least all the people that we hang out with. So at least our uh, guy friends, our batch mates, can at least try to change that they pay equal attention at work, and they consider that it's 50-50. The responsibility is just as much theirs as it is the wives, or their mom and dad need to be equal, just stuff like that. They need to change their own mentality, and maybe after a few generations we'll be able to see the change, to see more women in tech, because they finally have the time to do it. But
Okay, so
yeah,
now
a
moving,
very sensitive
yeah,
topic. I know I go on and on
and
about it, but that's the
it's
topic
it's
very close to my
definitely a
heart.
heavy topic. Yeah. So moving on to a lighter topic, which is your internship at Samsung. So you bagged an internship at Samsung in your third year. So do tell us more about the process, because many of us are interested to know about that, and also some advice that you'd like to give.
Okay. So, Samsung South Korea comes on campus to hire interns. They only hire interns and not full time employees. And I think that makes sense, especially for a country which is as different as ours. So, it does. So, basically, when we are interns for those 2 months, both the interns and the employers can see how it would be like when they're working together. And I think then they can see if they are suited for each other or not. If the employer wants that person to work with them in the long run, and for the intern to not only see the company but see the whole country, to see the whole culture, if they can survive in this place, because it's not easy. I won't lie, it's not easy. So yeah, it makes more sense to just hire interns and see, and just like they offer PPOs to those interns, whoever they think are good, and they hire PPOs to a lot. It's not like very few PPOs. For my batch, it was all 14 interns from India got a PPO. So yeah, it's actually very nice. But they don't come on campus for full time employment. They just come to hire interns. And the process was like, there was a test, which just like any other coding test. It was a 3 hour long test, I think, one question only. And then, so first, some people shortlisted based on CV, and they took the test. And based on that test and the CV combined, they were shortlisted for the interviews. So I know some people who came here, like who were actually finalized as interns, and even they had not passed the test. So it's not very important. Like at my time, of course, it might have changed now, but it's not the entire basis of the shortlist and all. There are a lot of factors to consider, but yeah, of course it helps if you pass the test. It's not very difficult, so yeah, you can do it. And then there are just 2 rounds of interviews, technical and HR, which is, yeah, basically, HR would be just a typical HR interview, and just talking about what kind of a person you are and all. And technical interview would be, at my time, they gave me a list of questions, and I had to select one of them to solve, and then I would just tell them the algo how I would solve that question. So it was like that. Might have changed now, but yeah. um but yeah, I think it's the process is quite common, and I also applied for other companies, so it was more or less the same. And the, to prepare for the technical test, you should like prepare maybe a few months. You should start a few months before, and you should just practice a lot of these questions that have been asked earlier. So there is just a whole um, bunch of questions available online where the questions have been asked earlier in the interviews and the tests. So I practice, I think, from Lead Code and also Geeks for Geeks for even puzzles. And so there are a lot of new sites, I'm sure. I haven't practiced in a long time, so I don't know. Um, Apart from that, then that I think you can handle. What I would suggest mainly is how confident you need to be in the interview, because I know a lot of people who were rejected. A lot of really smart people. I'm sure they did not even like miss any question, any topic. I know they were like the smartest of the smartest when it came to CS, and they were rejected because my guess is that they were not too confident in the interviews. They did not get that energy. And I think it's very important, especially when they're hiring for different country, a different culture. I think it is important that you sell yourself as someone outgoing, as someone who can manage in a different place, in a new place, and can make friends easily, can work with new people easily. So, and then of course it never hurts to be confident in life. Of course, it hurts to be overconfident, but I think it never hurts to be confident enough. And in the interviews, you just basically need to sell yourself. Just tell them, show it to them how it would be profitable for them to hire you. They need you, and you don't need them like as much as they need you. So basically, like that, you have to be really charming in interviews. And even if you did not do that well in the tests and all, they you have, or maybe you not have such a good CV as compared to others, but even then I think they can hire you. And this is very generic, this is not specific to Samsung, this is like common to all the companies. So just be confident, do not be nervous. Even if you don't know the answer to something, it's okay, because you will learn. No one knows everything. Just be confident that you can learn. You are smart. So yeah, that's my advice.
So, as you mentioned, you got a PPO which you accepted, and now you're working at Samsung. So, how is it in Samsung? How is it there?
Actually really cool, like especially because it's a headquarter. You really see how a product is when it's finalized, before it's finalized, before it's rolled out to the public. So it's actually a good experience. And in fact, that is why I chose Samsung over other companies. So Samsung is a day one company, at least it was when I applied. So I had other companies as well, and day one companies are good, right? So I had other really good offers as well. But why I had listed Samsung as my first preference was because, first of all, when you're going for an internship, for most of us, it's the first time you're earning. So having a good internship which pays well and is good. And then since it's the first time we are earning, we do travel a lot around the city where we are working. And I think like going to a new country is especially good for an internship, even if you don't plan to come back for full-time employment. Even then, just for exploring, for travel purposes, it's really a good opportunity. And even for work, I think at that time no other good company was offering an ML based project to interns or even BTech graduates. So at that time when Samsung was offering ML projects, it did seem like a good opportunity. Like even if you're not planning to go back for the job after your graduation, even then it would look good on your resume when you're applying for jobs elsewhere. So like working at a headquarter and working on a good project, so that does look good. And I think I would advise to everyone to just like, at least if you have the opportunity to go for the internship, even if you're not sure you can work here or not. Because yeah, I think I will not lie to you, it is hard, the language, and especially for vegetarians it is, you have to cook often if you want good vegetarian food. Luckily I'm not vegetarian, or whatever, luckily or not, but yeah, I don't face these issues. But it can be hard for some people, but for an internship I think it's a nice opportunity. And as I said, the work here is actually really good. So now I am working on the ASR, automatic speech recognition, which, like, in the simplest words, would be speech to text. So for any AI, the first step is to translate the speech to text and then try to understand what the text meant, and then uh, the question would be answered or something in the text form, and then they convert the text back to speech. But the first step would be to converting the speech to text, and that is what we do. And we do it for all the Samsung devices, not just the phones, but these days, like, everything is smart. So yeah, that's
Pretty,
actually pretty cool.
yeah, pretty
Um,
interesting. But how is it to work in a different country, far from home, a completely different language?
um, See, far from home, I believe that unless you're in the same city as your family, it's almost the same. I mean, you don't really find time, even if you're in a different city in the same country. And when you do find the time, you take a flight and go back home. And that was the case for me, at least before all this pandemic started. I used to visit my parents, my family very often, every chance I got, even if it was just for a weekend. And, like, that was the case that a lot of my friends who were in Bangalore did not go to Delhi as much as I went to Delhi. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. The distance doesn't really matter, I think, unless, like, you're stuck in a pandemic and you can't fly. At that time it's hard, but I hope it's temporary. um, but the language is definitely true. Definitely. Like, um, even the meetings, so they try to talk in English as much as they can, but they are obviously more comfortable in Korean. So they sometimes, to discuss more comfortably, they switch to Korean and apologize for speaking in Korean, but at the same time, I'm missing out on maybe an important discussion. So, but at the same time, I have to understand, I have to respect their comfort zones, and I have to appreciate that they do try to communicate in English as much as they can. So yeah, I mean, there are some disadvantages, but I guess it's fine. Whatever is relevant to me, they would definitely talk to me in English. So I'm not missing out on something very important. And just another thing about Korean work culture is that they work for really long hours. So I think, from what I've heard from my friends who are working in Japan as well, that Japan and Korea are the two countries where people work for really long hours. So my office, people work for maybe 10 to 12 hours a day. Uh, and it's not like just few days of the month. It is pretty common for a lot of the people to work for that long. And, like, we don't get a lot of leaves. We only get 15 leaves in a year, and, like, no other sick leaves or anything. And even that, a lot of Koreans don't even use all of them up. Like, they don't even use 15 leaves in a year. And yeah, it's just very strange. But I think that's just, like, engraved in them. That is how they've grown up, just knowing that they have to work a lot. And it's not like us, that if we don't feel like working today, we'll just go home. Luckily, like, they do not force that culture on us. They're very flexible with that. So that's actually a good thing. They are like that, but they would not force us to work for that long.
Okay, so now a very interesting topic, which is your Instagram. So you have about 46,000 followers. So how did you start and how did you grow?
Um, okay, see, first of all, I want to clarify something which is a common assumption among a lot of people, and it's natural to assume that I started this uh, account or whatever to be popular, or I want more and more followers. That's why I post pictures, and that's why I have a public account. So the thing is, I most people want more followers because they're ultimately looking to do paid collaborations. They want, I mean, no, who doesn't like being paid for just something they have been doing anyway, right? It's easy money. But I never wanted to do that, and I still don't. I, of course, still get offers to just promote some product, and they would either pay me or they would just like give the product for free to me. And I could even grow more if I started doing that, but that's not my intention. That's not why I have this account. So how I started was just like anyone else. I had this personal account, and I'm not even sure if there was a concept of private accounts back then. It was just like I started after my JEE advanced exam, and mm, like, and it's not like I was not uploading pictures because I uh, thought that it would be a distraction, but actually I wasn't posting because I thought I did not have good pictures and I wanted to only post good pictures. So after my JEE exam, I was like, okay, click my good pictures. I will dress up, I will buy new clothes, and then I will post pictures online for my friends to see. So that's how I started. And I know it might sound like an exaggeration, but it literally blew up overnight. So the day after JEE exam, um, some meme had gone popular and some questions on Quora. I don't know. I don't remember the exact details, but for some reason, I had like tons of requests on Facebook and tons of followers on Insta. So that's how it started. And the reason why I continue posting is actually more for myself because I like looking back at my pictures just to have those memories and all. But the reason why I have the account as public and not just private for my friends and family is I want more and more people to see that it's okay to care about your looks, to care about whatever you're passionate about, whatever you like doing, and still manage your professional life, your academic life. It's totally possible because I grew up listening to this that I should not dress up like this because it does not suit my personality, which was just a polite way of saying that if I want to do well academically, if I want to be successful in life, I need to stop caring about my looks. I need to just not care how I look. I don't need to care about anything else in life and just focus on that. And that is personally very wrong because you're not happy if you're not doing what you love. So I just want to show it to as many people as I can that it is completely okay. Do whatever you want, do whatever makes you happy. And as long as you prioritize other things, like things that are more important, of course, you need to maintain a balance, but just don't give up everything else because you don't know what the future would be like for you. So that's what I want as many people as like I want this to reach as many people as it can. Um, that's why I have this public account, and it does feel nice. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel nice when people compliment me. Who doesn't love compliments, right? And a lot of people when they're saying that I'm pretty, I'm a rare combination of beauty with brains. I hear that a lot, and it's really flattering. And especially when I see those messages which says that I'm an inspiration for them. Oh my god, it's like the best feeling. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this popularity, but of course there are downsides to it as well. Like I get these negative comments. I mean, the more popular you get, the more haters you acquire. Um, so I think for them, I would just like think that it's more about them than it is about me. I mean, that's how I deal with it. It took me a while to get here, and it still gets to me. I won't lie, it still hurts me a lot of times when people are saying mean things about me. But ultimately, I have to just ask myself that am I doing the best I can? And if the answer is yes, then I know it's about them, it's about their insecurities, and it's not just about strangers online. It's actually even about the people in your life. They say mean things, negative things about you, maybe not to your face, to others, and very often it's about their insecurities. They just want to feel good about themselves, and sometimes they need to put other people down just so that they look better. And it's okay as long as you're confident that you're doing good. It should not matter to you, it should not bother you. This negativity should not affect you that much. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
grown because of my Instagram account.
Yeah, I think there are always like two sides to a coin. So there's good and bad. But I think your ideology is amazing, and people should know that you can balance both. You can be popular and you can have an amazing career like you. Okay, so any last words you would want to give the people watching?
Mm, just the same thing that I've been saying all over. Just never stress out too much in life. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is worth it. You only do what you're enjoying because you seriously don't know what the future is going to be like, and you don't want to have regrets at any point. Just live, do what you like, as long as you have your goals straight in your head. Do not uh, forget about them. And for people who are trying to figure out what to do in future, just know that you're not alone. Even people who seem like they have it all figured out, even like you might think I have it all figured out, I have zero clue what I like doing in life, what I want to do ultimately in life. I have no idea. And I know so many people who are just like me, who literally are just like going. And so just like, don't worry too much, especially I think the IITians who are looking at it, don't worry too much about grades, about placements. It will all be okay, trust me. You're good, you have reached this far, you will be able to manage in life. Just enjoy this time, it's very important.
So thank you, Zaira. It was really fun talking to you, and it was a very insightful discussion.
I had a lot of fun too. It was nice little thinking about those IIT memories. I hope you don't miss out too much on that campus life. I know it's hard. I hope it all goes back to normal soon.
Yeah, we all are praying that it goes back to normal as soon as possible. And thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be bringing more episodes in this series very soon. So keep watching. Thank you.